Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of you, only crossing bigger and better. If you watched any of my videos I posted or any of my comments, you will know that I state that an atom is a love knot, right, of matter of male and female energy. And as long as this atom stays more positive, right, it is stated good to the truth of the shape, form, and mass that is expressing to the here and now of reality as the reality check of it, of the bigger and better of its matter. Now, I state that an atom is only absolutely positively, have not a faithful doubt, bigger and better than all negativity that could destroy it, the neutral of nothing, okay? And the proton in the atom, right, is where all the positive energy of existence comes to the point of the atom, and the neutron is where all the negative energy of existence comes to the point of the atom. And a neutron is not neutral, and it doesn't carry no charge. What it is it's always negatively deficient of a proton, and it is only stabilized by the higher energy of the proton inside the atom. And outside the atom is in a constant state of negative disintegration, decay, to nothing, dust, the wind at the beginning, and just negative energy of flux. Okay? Now, when these atoms bond, they only bond one more positive, two or more Christ-like, right? To make the good God and truth of all shape, form, and mass of elemental matter to the here and now of reality check. Not to exclude every dimension of time and space you can think of, and every shape, form, and mass of God you can think of. The God of Allah, of all, for everlasting peace I am. The absolute good truth of the life of Jesus Christ, by example. One when crossed with all faithful negativity, who only crossed back all back one more positive to be good as truth, the absolute bigger, better Adam man of the thieving Holy Spirit, God King, triple male Adam man of all I am. Now, back to these atoms. Again, when these atoms bond, they only bond one, two, or more Christ-like. Now, when they bond, they only bond to the identical. The more identical these atoms are, the more pure of the matter they are to the good truth of the shape, form, and mass they're expressing. And on the periodic table, you can go up through the elemental charts or down through the elemental charts, depending on what these atoms are making. Now, when they make an element, right, that means that all these atoms have one good truth between them that makes them absolutely, positively identical in this way to the bigger and better their matter. Now, when these elements make compounds, right, what they do is, because a compound is a little bit different than an element, okay? They take the good matter between them, the more positive, right, to the bigger and better their difference, right? And they bond out to the good God and truth of that. Now, I'm an atom man, right? If I only bond one more positive, right, with another atom man in body of male matter or in body of female matter, right? More male to the good truth of my shape, form, and mass, right? Well, in reality check, the next time we see each other, we can only be the absolute bigger and better of all negativity of that, more positive and good for it as truth. And if we branch off and we only bond out that way, right, to the reality check of our homes, our lives, our religions, and our governments, right, well, that'll be the good truth of the elemental matter of us, right, only coming together bigger and better than all flaws of negative deficiencies of it, right, to the reality check of mankind. And then we take these elemental matters and we create compounds to the good God and truth of us, right? Bonding out bigger and better than all the negative matter of us. Kind of like what the United States just did in Venezuela, okay? We are not, we are not, one with Venezuela. But we can find the absolute bigger, better, good truth, right? To do a prisoner exchange with these people to the reality check of everybody involved. And that's what you have to do with these compounds. Now, when you're making elements, if I tell you to be one more positive, that's the good God and truth of you, right? You can only be the bigger and better for it, right? Well, in reality, you're going to accept that one way or the other. You're going to say, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Or it's going to catch you in a denial state of being. Well, if your elemental matter, right, is more connected to understanding to only cross precept when you feel all one more positive, to be good as truth, right? Only coming back and adding up bigger and better than all negativity till it subtracts to nothing. If you can bond out with that and connect to that good, like ASAP, right, your elemental matter is really close to the good God and truth of mind, okay? But if not, that's okay. That's okay, see, because everything is learned through the good God and truth of us, adding up to the bigger and better than all negativity. And that just means your elemental matter is a little bit different, okay? And in reality check, you need to find a way to come back more positive, to be good as truth. And maybe it's, a language lesson to the reality of a mind check. You hear me? Use these words and you'll be good. Only cross one more positive when you feel all negativity. Only add up good as truth to the bigger and better of all. Subtracts the one, neutral, nothing. Just negative, the here and now of you being positive and good. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die. That if negativity can't grow to consume you, it can't kill you to one, neutral, nothing. Now, back to what I was saying. These atoms are a love knot of male and female energy to the reality check of the matter they're expressing, to the atom they are. Now, if they're more male, they can't be destroyed. They're good anywhere as the truth of the shape, form, and master being expressed to and bonded to. But if they're more female, right, then the good truth of them is in flux. And depending on the electronegativity of the fluctuation of their bond, they either have to go to a higher state or a lower state to compensate to hold their bond, or they'll split. And that's what Pistis Sophia did in the mythology. But before I get to Pistis Sophia, while I'm speaking about it, I just seen a show on Adam and Eve and Lot and all these folks, okay? Now, I'm going to explain something. I told you about Adam and Eve. If Adam would have crossed Eve one more positive, right? Good as truth, instead of crisscrossing a devilishly delusional, nutty, fruity, bushwhacking snake of bad on himself, right? Well, we'd all been the bigger and better of all negativity, right? We would not want for nothing. We would be in paradise with what God gave us naturally enough to sustain, right? Shelter, something to eat. Well, because he didn't, right, we've been cursed by an unevolved way of existing that I talk about in other videos. But I want to say something about Lot. Listen, to the victor goes the spoil. Who wrote the story? Now check me out. Lot's daughters got him drunk and seduced him. Lot's wife turned to a pillar of salt. I don't know about any of y'all, right? But I ain't never seen nobody turn into a pillar of salt, right? And I never seen, right, the heavens open up and the wrath of anything come down on just one spot. But what I have seen, right, is salty, power-tripping fools, right, sacking cities, land snaking, bushwhacking. You hear me? No good, dirty dealing dogs. And I'm just gonna say, listen to me. I'm gonna leave the judgment open to whoever wants to perceive it. You hear me? But it sounds to me like somebody in power might have got a little salty. You hear me? They say the offering to Pistis Sophia ain't no good without salt. Well, we're going to see about this. All right. So Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. I think the dude got salty because she was over in Sodom and Gomorrah, right, having a little bit more fun than what he liked, right? When he caught wind of it, he sacked the whole damn spot. And guess what? He took his daughters, and he didn't give a fuck. He just banged them out because guess what? He's got to do something. You hear me? His mind was gone. You dig what I'm trying to tell you? I don't believe for 1 second how that story was written. I think he was a perverse, ancestral madman, right? And his wife, right, was going to get banged out because he couldn't get up out of his daughters. That's the truth. That's a fact. I mean, I believe that as a fact, you know what I'm saying? But what can you do? You know, I don't have faith in anything, but, you know, maybe history will prove me wrong, but I believe I'm absolutely correct on that shit. That's a fact of God, the truth of reality of it, you hear me? We can play word games, but look, anybody who lives on Earth, right, has to know there ain't no aliens. You wonder why? Because I'm a fly white guy, right, in Ohio, and I'm going to check you out. And I want you to check me out. I'm sorry. Check this out, man, right? There is no other creature, creation applied, one to the here and now existence of all reality, check, right, as evolved as a man. We articulate reality and the cosmos and life for what it is, okay? And if we're doing it negatively, deficiently, right, you could see it in all things as long as you're not left in the dark about it. You hear me? And all I'm saying is this, right? What is the absolute positive, good God and truth of that damn story with Lot? Man, the only good God and truth of it is it's over now, and hopefully them inbred bastards is out of existence. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's not much great to say about that. And David struggles. I was watching the show. David struggles as every man struggles. You hear me? Some of us fall short. Some of us don't. You hear me? But I'm gonna tell you something. We all struggle, and those struggles is from an inferior godhead, and they were created by Pistis Sophia. In the mythology, she was an atom that split more female with energy, right, to the reality of her atom, the matter that she was, okay? And the force of God overwhelmed her when that happened, because you got to know that even negative energy, right, all comes from one source, okay? So when she crisscrossed negative with negativity and split, well, the source of that split, right, was the energy, right, being produced into her. But that energy is never negative, only the polarity of it. And because she wasn't keeping with the positive flow of God to the reality check of her, it overwhelmed her. And through an orgasmic affair of God, that she was one blind two, you hear me? No one reality check. She split in all creation of existence to the reality of all negative and positive energy was created as a backfire on itself. And when existence stopped coagulating and it all came together to the reality of the energies coming to the points I was telling you about, the neutron, the proton overwhelmed the neutrons, okay? And that's how the atoms of the good truth of all I am, right? The man up, the absolute example of Jesus Christ of all I am was created. See, I want to show you something. Any God you can think of better be absolutely, positively, have not a faithful doubt, bigger and better than all negativity to destroy them to one neutral nothing. Just negative of the here and now of them, positive, absolutely, positively good as truth. Jesus, right, all through his life was only one more positive, good as truth, absolutely bigger and better than all negativity that could destroy him. The good God and truth of the incarnate, even Holy Spirit, God, King, Adam, man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am. The absolute bigger and better of all for everlasting peace that never dies negative, the one neutral nothing, man, negative up out of existence of reality. That's impossible. And I want to explain something to you. As long as you bond one more positive to the good God of truth of how you feel from the inside out at 360 degrees, bigger and better than all negativity, to your shape, form, and mass of indestructible atoms crossing and bonding, you are one holy, in-lined out, good God and truth of reality check, and by the physics and laws of all known matter, right? Creation applied one to the here and now existence of all reality check, you can only cross bigger and better. But back to Pistis Sophia. So she split. And when she split, right, through these two polarities of energy, they came to the point of the proton and neutron, the good truth, right, of the atom, right, the sustainable matter of all creation of existence was created. And through these atoms, right, because all energy that isn't a part of the neutron, right, being stabilized by the proton in the atom, right, is in flux, okay? But it's a lesser energy to the proton. So as long as that proton stays to a higher energy than the neutron, right, it's absorbing all the electronegativity from the outside of the reality of it, right? And 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 as it's doing that, it's building up its elemental matter, okay? And it's building up its proton base. It's building up the structure of the atom itself to the reality check of what it's going to become as far as elements, compounds, cells, you, me, the buildings, trees, everybody, of everything, creation, applied unto your non-existence of all reality check. But because it was a negative, deficient way on her, right? It was a backfire on her, right? Through the neutrons, all things creation of existence was perversely created. Meaning, these neutrons, right, they were at a higher energy state than what they are now. So they made the atoms more radioactive to the reality of becoming the elemental matters they were, okay? And even though they were still, the proton was still overwhelming the neutrons at this time, right? They were really negatively charged to the reality of being able to mutate. You hear me? Mutate the matter that they were going to become and what they were. Until the Spirit of God, like the Coburn Bible said, come through and all the inertia of existence had settled, right? We came back more positive than negative because this is a positive creation, right? Look at any textbook of science you want to, and anywhere it's more positive than negative, it's stated good matter, right? As truth, the bigger and better of it. Now listen to me. So she split, and when the inertia of existence started to settle, through the energy of the Son of God, the good God and truth of the thieving Holy Spirit of all I am, right? There was a ape tribe on the earth, but before that, the inertia of the earth was settled more positive than negative to make it a good matter as truth to the bigger and better of life coming into existence and thriving. So at this point, there was an ape species on earth, the incarnate spirit of the good God and truth of all I am, right? Incarnated this ape tribe, and because they were more ape, monkey than man, right? Most of them destroyed themselves with the energy of it, okay? More animalistic. And one of them went up to the cavern of woe, okay? And through an orgasmic affair, right, of the thieving Holy Spirit, good God and truth of all I am, right? This she-ape became a woman, and the first pre-Adamite male of all I am was created to the reality check of the bigger and better of all mankind, only crossing one more positive than all negativity to be good, only adding up as truth, the absolute bigger, better, good God and truth of all reality check. So, anyways, at this point, right, all who came in contact or bred with the pre-Adamite man of all I am became the enlightened God kings who built the pyramid structure around the world that made the world a true sister reflection of not only the Son of God of all I am with energy, right, but the good God and truth of every point of light at 360 degrees from the inside out of the cosmos of all I am, okay? And everybody who bred with the ape that got turned into a woman, right, as a secondary, right, enlightenment, they became the Shaiva lineage, and they became more monkey-minded than of a man, and that's where good and bad comes from. See, if you think things are good and bad, right, you can't take what's bad, which is no good as truth, right, and cross it back one more positive to be good as truth until the negative of it's nothing, because you have no reality of that, because you are more animalistic to the mind of you. And in the estrogens of the soul, right, it says that a female appendage is on the outside, and it's the reverse of a female soul is on the outside, and it has a reverse appendage of a man. Every time you act negative with negative energy, right, more female, right, than male, you act more monkey than man. And this doesn't mean a woman, because a woman, right, is just a negative of a man, meaning this, right? If I make her, through positive energy, right? More positive. She will be good as truth, the absolute bigger and better of every man. And if she makes me more positive, right, with energy, good as truth, she'll make me the absolute bigger and better of every woman, okay? Now listen, if we one together, right, cross and have children at the time of conception, if my male matter, right, is one more positive male with energy, right, the good truth of the baby will only be male. And if her female matter, right, which is only one more positive, right, impregnated with male energy, right, the good God and truth of the thieving Holy Spirit of all I am, right, that baby will only become female. Now, if you take this male and this female baby and these children, right, and you only teach them to cross all they are back one more positive, only adding up when they feel all negativity, good as truth, until all the negativity subtracts to one neutral nothing, right? Well, that's the bigger, better, good God and truth, energy and matter of every man, woman, child, creation applied, one to the here and now existence of all God, truth, reality check. And if you think I don't have anything more to say about it, you're wrong. The state of one more positive from the inside out is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, Holy Spirit, for everlasting peace, all will ever know or be. It's the state that all in body and matter is stated good to the truth of God, their shape, form, mass, only crossing absolutely, have not a faithful doubt, only bigger and better than all negativity. And if you don't know this, right, and you think that things cross bad, and you're not bringing what you are back more positive to be good always as truth because you believe through faith, which is a lie on all things good as truth because it's a gamble and a crapshoot on the bigger and better of you being more positive. And plus, none teach you to only cross all you are of negativity back one more positive to only be good as truth. So no faith is good as truth. They're the absolute bigger and better of the neutral nothing, just being negative to the here and now of you, only crossing one more positive to be good as truth. When you feel all negativity, the absolute bigger and better of all God, truth, reality check. If I get up here and now, right, and I bond out with my refrigerator, stove, my relatives, my friends, right, and I only do it one way, to the here and now of me, as I have a mind to think about it, only cross one more positive, only adding up all good, to the truth of the here and now of us, right? With my 24/7, right? That'll be the absolute bigger, better, good God and truth of me forever. Have not a faithful doubt. You hear me? Unless I go splat, right? And I absolutely, positively know the really good God and truth of the reality check of that. That ain't going to happen. Because, look, I'm telling you, anywhere your atoms are bonded, one more positive, only adding up good as truth, right? You're one holy, indestructible shape, form, and mass, only crossing to the bigger and better. From the inside out at 360 degrees, that is impossible to the here and now of reality check. And if you only do it preset, right, know how Jesus got up 3 days later and went on with life. You hear me? Look, I want to show you something. I talked about marriage in my last video, and I'll explain something to you I know about marriage, okay? No matter what relationship you're in, okay, only cross all you are of a significant other, okay? One more positive, right? To be good as truth when you feel all negativity, right? Only adding up until all the negativity subtracts to one neutral nothing. If you do, well, you don't ever have to worry about death do us part, right? And you never have to worry about living in some sort of sinful, hallucinating way, right? That is an adulterous affair on you. Listen to me. If you're not crossing all you are of negativity back one more positive to be good as truth, right? You're always committing adultery to it. You see what I'm saying? Adultery is going against the good God and truth of you. only crossing to the bigger and better of one more positive and good together, right? With the reality check of you. And Jesus said it's the only sin of us is the nature of adultery, because it makes us go against the good God and truth of what we know is the absolute bigger and better of all reality check. And I want to say something about that Lord Shiva lineage. Okay, when they were created, okay, and they were less in fear, what happened is they tried to establish rule over the land. See, the God Kings got so enlightened, they stopped dying, but they really stopped caring about life as you would think. You understand? Like, I'm sitting here, I'm good, right? Most people would say I'm at the very bottom of the food chain, but I tell you, I'm at the very top. You understand? And this is how these people seen reality. You hear me? They were established. They built up the pyramid structures. Everywhere they was at, there was a God King residing. But know the truth of it. They weren't a technical, even though they knew they had to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have if you want to sustain a certain kind of life, you have to have a certain kind of way. But anyways, make a long story short, these secondary enlightened people that was more monkey than man, right? Instead of cooperation and living long lives, they were dying, right? They were real sickly, and they were a lot smaller, okay? And these people were like giants to them, kind of like what a Caucasian or an African is to an Asian or an Oriental or even a Hispanic. It's you know what I'm saying? We look like giants to them. Most of those people don't get taller than what we are at 12 years old, and that's just the good God and truth of the fact of it. Okay? And what happened is because they couldn't articulate the good and bad of them, right? They also got enlightened, and they also got technical, but their enlightenment and their technicality, right, was inferior. So therefore, it drove them to competitiveness, to be scavengers, to be hoarders of resources, right? And they used women, okay, and they used we're just gonna say girls, man, right, as trading, right, to establish their kingdoms and stuff. And the God Kings were not into that. Listen to me, I'm gonna explain something to you. Regardless of what type of relationship I may establish in the future, I may establish in the past, right? In reality check, I'm always open, right, to understanding the bigger and better of more. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if I love a girl, right, I've never cheated on anybody in my life. I am wholehearted to that girl, right? But I would be a fool to say I don't live in a world full of girls, right? And no matter what I want to do, as far as these women are concerned, right, I want to know as much as I can about them. If not, I mean, I'm not a heterosexual male, and probably something's wrong with me, okay? Now, I'm just going to say this, right, honestly and truly, right? They used the women, okay? And this is why they say the Watchers and the angels rebelled and all this. They were a part of, they were two separate societies, but they were intertwined, okay? Because one functioned with the other and one functioned to the other. See, the pyramid structure, right, had underground cities all over the earth that sustained it. And it was the first point in which the water of the earth could be geysered out of it, okay? And they irrigated the landscape on top and below through it. And anyways, these Shiva lineage people, they overthrew the God Kings. And in the book of Gleamings, it talks about how they knew the enlightenment was gone, how they was just treating women horribly. They blamed the women, okay? Now listen, if everything creation of existence is made of matter and body, a matter of flux, except your guy right here, okay? Because I'll tell you, I'm good as truth. Absolutely, positively, have not a faithful doubt in all negativity, okay? But if all of existence is in flux, right, okay, we know that all the matter of us is female, okay? Even you males, you're female. Because if you don't know to be one more positive, to be good as truth, right, to the bigger and better of your male matter, well, that's That's female, okay? Now, that energy that's on you is actually the female of you because it's negative energy to the positive, good God and truth of your male shape, form, mass. Same with ladies. Ladies, if you have negative energy on you, right? Consuming the more positive, good God and truth of your shape, form, mass, it's killing you to nothing. You know what I mean? Look, I'd say it in my other videos, and I'm going to keep it real with you. Only eat, drink, smoke, and fuck to the good God and truth of what you can absolutely positively sustain, right? To the bigger and better of all negativity. Because if not, right, you're just producing and birthing one negative matter after nothing, one negative matter after another, right? And this negative matter, through the energy of you, is you. Meaning, if you cross negative with negativity, like Pista Sophia did, that's the devil of you. Cross negative with negativity is the devil of you, and it causes your neutrons to become radioactive, a little slightly negative, right, with a charge, more than what they should be, and that's why that matter mutates wherever that negativity state in you with decay and disintegration, whether it be heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, strokes, whatever it is, man. And you're mutating to that negatively deficient with all you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, say, and do, with the reality check of what you eat, drink, smoke, and fuck. Okay, so check me out. Listen, I don't know, I'm going to say those foul words, but I say those foul words in context of this. Listen to me. Fuck this world. You hear me? Fuck this world. And I mean it, man. And fuck the devil. Get behind me, man. Go jump off a cliff with them fucking monkeys. That's how I feel about it. You hear me? Pista Sophia, they say that offering ain't no good without salt. Well, she got the job done on that one. You hear me? Because I'm a salty dog, man. Listen, I'm alive and I'm well and I'm good, and that's the truth. Embody a matter of a world, man, that is dying out, diseased, deranged, and crazy as hell. And I don't know if I can articulate myself to the bigger and better of who's seeing this, understands this, man. But I am watching not only all that I love and I cherish, right, die out insanely, right? Crazy as hell, retarded, man. You hear me? I'm going to tell you people, man, if you're not crossing what you are back of negativity more positive to be good as truth, that's pretty fucking retarded. You hear me? Because in reality, check, you're just staying in a bad way all the time. And it really bothers me. You hear me? And I've released this all over. I've released it all over creation of existence. You know, and it doesn't bother me just for the fact that I know that people are dying of it every day. Children and the elderly alike. It does not discriminate. Listen, the earlier you can teach somebody to be more positive than the negatives of them, right, to be good as truth, that will only add them up bigger and better than all negativity till it subtracts to one neutral nothing, repeat as needed, and only stay preset that way. I mean, as soon as you can tell somebody this in life, you better get it in their heads. Because all else is just negatively deficient of it. It is lacking. It is lacking. Our governments are lacking. Our religions are lacking. You hear me? It is lacking, man. You hear me? And you can't get around it. Listen, you can't get around it. You say all day long, well, I hate this guy because he tells me no lie, but no the reality check of it, man. Look, I'll tell you to save your life. Listen, if you're rich, right? Well, it's time to pay up, man. People need homes. Listen, we was given paradise with enough to eat, drink, sustain, and a way to get out the elements. You hear me? I'll be damned if I'm gonna keep buying them back from you and losing mine every time I come up short, man. We're gonna have to do bigger and better than that. And not only me, I'm talking about the world. Look, I go online, they say Tesla house for $5,000. Okay, with the solar panels, all that. Okay, well, why not? Can't the government get us one of them for like $500? That way, you know, if a fool falls off, they ain't got no job. Maybe they don't even want work. You know what I mean? They got somewhere to go. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, be homeless and ran up, worried about you losing your foundation of life. It ain't time for your children, for your pets, for anything, man. You hear me? It's crazy, and it's anarchy on us, man. Right? To be scared to death to lose your home at any time because you might lose your livelihood, man. And these people say they're the overseers of us, man, and they're living like gods. Let me tell you, man, they get them jobs and they go to them schools and they teach their kids to do the same thing. You hear me? Because they know all else is living like ghosts at any time, man. This shit is coming up scratch. You hear me? It's coming up. It's coming up a loss. It could be over for all of it. But that's nonsense, you hear me? That is nonsense. And these people that's made money this way in this world, they need to know that is killing them. Listen, you got to know, man, that them poor people over there do matter to the reality check of you having millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and billions and billions and trillions and trillions. You have to know, right, that you are a direct effect on their poverty. You have to know that, you hear me? How do you not know that? You understand? And I'm going to tell you something, man. There's some real ugly-ass poverty out here, man. Any of y'all been to East St. Louis, Missouri? How about Miami, Florida before that hurricane hit? How about South Central? How about over the Rhine, Cincinnati, Ohio? You hear me? How about Cleveland? Any of y'all been up to New York City, man? There's some real poverty. You know what the people look at them impoverished people and do, man? They hate them. That's why these cops come out here and they'd rather shoot you than to look at you. You hear me? They hate you for your color. They hate you, man. You hear me? Because this is a hateful ass world. When you go to court, you hear me? They call you a bad guy and lock you up. You hear me? Hold that against you forever. What kind of negative is that, man? Listen, no matter what I do, right, I can always do one more positive than that to be good as truth. As long as I recognize that what I did was negative, right? And I can add up bigger and better than that to the here and now of me always being good as truth. Well, when you're serving hate up on a platter connected to a jail and a prison, right, you'll never do that. You will never do that. When you go out on the streets and you come to a scene and you don't try and make that scene more positive and good, right, as the truth of you, and you build the bigger, better of jails, prisons, and wars, right, from it, that's always negatively deficient. You hear me? That's always the negative deficiency of your leadership. And any religion that is backing that kind of leadership, that faithful leadership, well, they're going to hell right along with them. You understand? Or they're coming to the truth, and they're seeing the bigger and better that the God, King of Man, of all I am, has set their paths and destroyed any evil ways that could destroy them. Look, life is a miracle. You hear me? Only cross preset to add up in this miracle. One more positive to be good as truth, right? The absolute bigger and better than all faithful animalistic negativity that will crisscross you, your life, your reality, man, and all that you love. The one neutral, nothing, just negative of the here and now of them being absolutely, positively good as truth. And that's a fact check. That's God, that's truth. That's a reality check. From the full thief man, God, King, Adam man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am. Peace.